All right, welcome back, everyone. J Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Oh, first of all, please pardon the inconsistency of these videos that are going on. Last couple of weeks have been rough, just dealing with life in general, and we're trying to get back on track here. And yeah, we have a lot to catch up on, and we're going to cover a lot of different nuggets from a lot of different uh, news bits from companies all over the place. So we're going to cover The Rock's daughter, as you see in the thumbnail of this video. We're going to catch up on some AEW news. We're going to catch up on some Impact stuff. We're going to talk a little football. We're going to talk a little XFL. Matt Hardy, and then last minute stuff that I just found before I got on here, some Lance Archer stuff. So grab a drink, sit down, relax. Lots to talk about. What is up, Humble Beast? Hey, bro. What is up? Thanks for joining. Hakeem's in here. The Rock's daughter is gonna lay the smackdown. I see what you did there on WWE's women's division ass. I'm assuming that's what you meant by the little symbols there. Yeah, you know what? Let's get that out of the way. That's a great way to start this off. News broke yesterday. You know what? Let's bring up the article. I'll quick read part of the official break. Oh dear Lord, there's Shayna Baszler, face full of blood, all black and white because it just looks ridiculous. Where is God? That's, they changed the site and you can't just get to the news. You gotta look for news bits and then whatever. I'm just not on the site that much, but this is okay. Sift through all the Raw stuff. Oh, R-Truth is gonna get a 24. Interesting. All right. We found the article. Here we go. Simone Johnson, daughter of Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Danny Garcia. Now they got to put Danny Garcia in there because she's actually quite the business. What do they say? Module, whatever. They're divorced, but they work together. They got companies together, entertainment platforms together. So that's that's why it's worth mentioning her. She is a woman of significance. She's very powerful. So Simone Johnson begins training at WWE Performance Center. And then there's a small video. I'm not going to play that because I can't play that on here. Has reported to the WWE Performance Center to begin training and is on her way to becoming WWE's first fourth generation superstar. This is look, opinions of WWE aside, I don't know anyone on this earth that I've ever seen on social media just throw it out there saying, "Oh, The Rock sucks. We hate The Rock." The Rock is one of the biggest superstars in entertainment, movies, wrestling, sports, whatever you want to call it, in the world. Okay? He is a brand unto himself. You can't deny that. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. The news was talked about recently that his father died. I think I talked about that a little bit. I might not have, but if I didn't, I'll just bring it up for a moment here. Rest in peace, Rocky Johnson. So the fact that his daughter, who is a beautiful young lady, and she's 18 now, she's probably the youngest gal in that performance center, which is already packed full of great young talent. I'll just read some of this. You guys can go to the article on the website and read it at your own free time here. It says Simone Johnson, the daughter of 10-time world champion, got to throw that in there, Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Danny Garcia, has begun training to become a WWE superstar at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Whew, that's a mouthful. The 18-year-old is on a path to become the first fourth-generation superstar in WWE history, coming from a line of legends that includes the great-grandfather and grandfather of WWE Hall of Famers High Chief Peter Maivia and Rocky Johnson and her father. I'm a little surprised they didn't say future Hall of Famer himself, but I think we all know he's going to go into the Hall of Fame someday. Or maybe he doesn't want to. I don't know why The Rock hasn't gone in yet. It's kind of funny. It's like everyone else has gone in. Why not him? But whatever. The Rock says, it means the world to me. Or no, wait. Is it Simone? Oh, maybe Simone said this. I apologize. Simone said, it means the world to me to know that my family has such a personal connection to wrestling is really special to me, and I feel grateful to have the opportunity not only to wrestle, but to carry on the legacy. Simone Johnson's unbridled passion and incredible drive has earned her a coveted spot training with the elite athletes from around the world at WWE's Performance Center, said Paul Triple H Levesque, Executive Vice President of Talent, Live Events, and Creative. Whew, he's got a lot on his plate, doesn't he, these days? Not only does Simone now have an opportunity to cultivate and display her passion for WWE within the Performance Center, but she'll carry on a tradition of her incredible family lineage while creating her own impact as had to say that impact as WWE's fourth generation superstar. So yeah, this is, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. You guys can, like I said, you can read that at your own pace, whatever. So yeah, I'm actually excited about this. I'm very curious to see. I mean, she's wow. She you guys are so funny. I heard J-Bone is the AEW Dark Order leader. I can neither confirm nor deny that. I did that with the wrong eye, totally. The Rock is a legend. What? Says Elijah Washington. Welcome. How you doing? Jesse calls in here. What's up? Morning. AEW last Wednesday. We're going to get into that. I'm not going to review the whole thing, but we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to pinpoint a few things. Imagine The Rock and his daughter versus Charlotte Flair and Ric Flair in a match during one of those Saudi Arabia shows. Yeah, if that happened 10 years ago with a different time frame in Ric's career, that could absolutely would have happened. Ric could barely walk now. He's a shell of what he used to be, and that's not knocking the guy. The guy's getting up there, okay? The guy's old, but no, he's never going to get in the ring again. He still has the mindset to, like, what does he do? The whole, he still can cut a promo, and whatever, and show up for little appearances here and there. But you can tell the health issues that he's gone through within this last few years have really knocked him down several pegs, but we still love Ric. But yeah, could The Rock actually come back and do something and make an appearance for his daughter at some event? Look, let's not kid ourselves. She's green, and that's not a knock on her. I'm sure she knows a lot from her dad. I'm sure her dad is going to teach her a lot. and I'm sure he's going to put it in the hands of the PC. But this is not something that's going to, yeah, maybe she will catch on quickly. We don't know how athletic she is. I really don't know anything about her. So I'm not going to knock her, but I'm just going to say this is not going to happen overnight. You're not going to see her show up at WrestleMania and have a match. This is going to be a work in progress, and they're going to be showing stuff along the way. I'm sure they're going to do specials on her progress because this is a very special and unique talent opportunity, you know? So this is something they are going to feature. So good luck to Simone Johnson. Looks like she's changing her look. She had that jet black, beautiful Simone hair, and now she's got um, like an orange tint. It looks like okay, like so when you have like jet black hair and you want to go platinum blonde or something to the look of like Charlotte or something like that, and you have to like dye it in phases to get to that next thing. And it looks like she's like in that in between phase. And not that I'm an expert on hair or anything, but I've dyed a few heads before, so I know that much. So, but we'll see what happens with her. I'm really excited about that to see what happens with her. And yeah, we just gotta, it's the world is gonna watch. I mean, everybody's gonna be covering this, and I'm sure I'll give some updates on here and there. We'll jump in the chat real here before we go into the next thing. Oh, let's see. She will get the special treatment. It must be cool to have your father pave the way for you. Yeah, I mean, she got stuck right in the PC, and yeah, that is a thing. But it's some people are going to take that path and some people are going to try to find their own path. And you know what? I'm sure she's going to catch a lot of flack. She's going to have to grow some thick ass skin because she's going to have daggers coming at her because of her name and her situation. And she's 18 and boom, she just got stuck in the PC. She didn't go train at some place down south or, the Monster Factory or, I don't know, a lot of different, or even like a place like Ohio Valley Wrestling. She didn't go to any of those places. You still get good, hardcore training, Ricky Morton school, whatever. She didn't. She went to the PC. But you know what? If you think about it, there's a bigger picture to this. And then I'll go on to the next thing. So we could talk about this all day. She has a very important name. And if you put her at some other lower tier place, not knocking any of them, but, a smaller, lesser known place, that's going to make her a lot more vulnerable to everything outside. You put her in a place like this, it's a lot more secure and she'll be safer. Okay. There's that aspect too. And I don't think people are looking at that. So there's the, hey, she got in, she's got that name, but let's look at the big picture here. She's safe here. She'll be a lot more private and she'll be protected in so many different ways, physically, emotionally, whatever, from the outside public. Not everybody and their uncle can just walk in and be like, oh my God, there's The Rock's daughter. You can't do that in the PC. At least I'm assuming you can't. There's been articles about creepers outside, but that's about it. So all right. So yeah, very excited about that. Moving on. Let's talk about some XFL, folks. We're going to get away from wrestling just a bit here. for those of you who know me, I have not watched football in several years, in like 3 or 4 years. I was looking at my, Facebook timeline the other day, and I saw something on, my Facebook feed about talking about the Packers. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm always gonna love the Packers. I just can't watch the NFL, okay? I've really gotten away from the NFL. The officiating has absolutely destroyed it as a fan for me. They can't do shit, okay? They really can't do shit. But the straw that broke the camel's back for me was watching some guy in some game run down the field. Another guy literally touched him on the arm like that, and it drew a flag. For what? He was running with the ball. You got to tackle the guy. He touched him on the arm, and it drew a flag. I'm like, that's not football anymore. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. I was like, no, you've completely pussied your game. It's horrible. So no, I haven't watched it in years, you know. Anybody else who wants to watch it, it's $1 billion industry, whatever. I personally can't watch it. So when I heard about the XFL coming back, I was very curious because I loved it 20 years ago, whatever it was when I was watching it, 20 plus. I can't remember what year it was. Put her in the heart thumbs. Okay, I'm a beast. It's funny. Charisma, yeah, we'll have to see. So yeah, when I heard about the XFL coming back, I was very curious, and I was kind of excited because I loved it back in the day. It didn't, it wasn't run properly. They made a lot of mistakes. Times have changed. Times have really changed. They changed what they did. They didn't just bring back what they had 20 years ago. They completely changed it, revamped it, and put out a whole new scheme. Now, there are a lot of similarities to the game of NFL football, and that's fine. You guys are funny. Dead Punt Cage, 2001, 2002, around the same time they bought out WCW. Okay, yeah, so early 2000s, right. Thank you. So, you know, and I haven't been keeping track of the news, and all of a sudden the week before it went live, I knew it was supposed to happen this year. I just hadn't heard anything. I hadn't really kept track of it. I didn't see anything out there that, you know, popped in front of my eyes. All of a sudden it was like a week before kickoff, and I was like, holy shit, it's coming. I did no clue. They sold a decent amount of tickets. In fact, pre-sale, they already sold. What did I hear? They already sold more tickets in the XFL already preseason than they did all season for that last, was it AAF, AFF, whatever it was, the football league that came out last spring that came and went and didn't even finish. Or at least I heard it didn't finish. I really have no idea about it because I wasn't keeping track of it. Hakeem in Vince's voice. This is the XFL. I'm going to destroy my own voice trying to imitate Vince. The only representation as far as from like WWE that was there from the McMahon family, I heard Shane was there at the first game that went live on Saturday afternoon. That's it. There, I don't think Vince was there. I think Vince is obviously a person on top of things, but he's letting other people run it, which is smart. So you're not going to see his face every week, every whatever, you know. They're really keeping, it's like keeping church and state, you know, separate. They're really keeping the WWE separate from the XFL, which is good because they didn't last time. Last time they had the Undertaker, they had the Rock, and all these significant high-focused players in the WWE, all over the advertising, banners. It was everywhere. Football fans don't want that. Hardcore, football loving, apple pie eating Americans don't want that. At least I don't want that. I don't want anybody else that wants that. And that was crucial in this rebirth of the XFL. They changed some stuff up. I'll tell you what, I watched all 4 games. I mean, I went all out on this. I didn't just pick a game to check it out. I went all out on this. I DVR'd all of them. Some of it I watched live. Some of it I didn't. My first impression of this XFL after watching 4 games, I absolutely loved it. I was excited. I felt myself scooting to the edge of my seat. When they made big plays, I got loud, and I haven't done that in years. I mean, I got louder than I normally do, even for like live wrestling events. Man, it was like something like that was like, kept down in me for so long. Now it was like creeping its way back out, and it was, it felt really good. And you know what? It wasn't perfect. There's a lot of people in the XFL that are brusting the dust off their old careers, or they didn't get that chance, and they had some experience, and they just didn't have that green light to be like, okay, I'm here. I get the chance to make an impression, but no, someone else got that spot. These guys are there. They're hungry. J-Bone was very excited. I was. After watching a couple games on Saturday, I was like, man, I'm digging this. I'm digging it. The look of it, the announcers, oh my God. One of the big drawbacks from the NFL for me, Aikman. Can't stand Troy Aikman, can't stand Joe Buck. What the hell is that other guy's name? Was it Collinsworth? I can't think of some of the guys I had despised years ago. Some of the play-by-play guys, I just cannot stand. They had some decent guys in the booth calling the action, and they did a great job of when someone made a play, they focused on them, said where they came from, their experience. I did a tiny bit of research before the first game. I read an article. I'm a Wisconsin guy. I was a Packer fan. Still, I'm a Packer fan, but you know what I mean. There's an article from some Milwaukee magazine that said, if you're curious, there are 25 or more players in the XFL currently from the Badgers/Green Bay Packers. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I looked, and none of the names popped off. One name, running back from a few years ago, Harris, is in one of the teams. I don't remember which one. And I'm not a big stats guy, and names are not going to come to me, but I can tell you I picked the St. Louis Battlehawks as far as like a team to really get excited about. There's nothing around here. Last time, 20 years ago, there was a Chicago team. Can't remember what they were called. This year, the closest thing to the Midwest is a St. Louis team. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to identify with that one. Some people can pick a team from wherever. I remember, and this shows how far back this goes. It was in my last marriage. My wife at the time bought me what was it? It was a really cool jersey, and I can't remember. Was it the San Francisco Devils or something like that? It was a red and black jersey, had a pitchfork logo. It was badass. And they were selling them at Kohl's for like on clearance for like $20 during the season. So I was like, oh man, maybe I can find something cheaper on here for St. Louis Battlehawks. I mean, online, they're not horribly priced on the shop. I think they're less than $100 for a jersey, which ain't bad. Obviously going to be some high quality stuff, but I'm not going to go all crazy. Devil Rays, it might have been. It might have been. I'd have to look. Have I missed the Impact and AEW talk? No, you have not. It's coming up. I went from talking about Simone Johnson joining the WWE to XFL. The rest of the wrestling is coming. I just wanted to get the football stuff out of the way. So be patient. I'm going to get to a lot of other little news bits, okay? Jamie Weisner. I don't like Tony Romo doing a play-by-play for CBS NFL coverage. Yeah, I've heard some people complain about him. And I don't know a lot of the names that are in there. I'll tell you who impressed me. A coach for one of the games on Sunday, don't remember the team, possibly Dallas Renegades. I don't remember. The guy's name was like Gainesville or something. The coach, head coach on the field, 78 years old. Holy balls, that's old to be a head coach for the NFL. My goodness. Walking around, they had the coach's mic. You could hear him talking. Bell, clean as a whistle. You know, I mean, he knew it. He knew his shit. And they showed a picture of him from 1989. Folks, I was in high school back then. Holy shit. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yes. Jerry Gainville. Yes. Man, unbelievable. I heard about some coaches that got axed right away. The very interesting thing about this is I did a little bit of research on the teams. There's 8 teams, same as last time. 4 on each conference. There's a West Conference and an East Conference. West Conference has, let's see if I get this right, Seattle. I'm not going to remember all the tag whatever things, but there's Seattle, LA, and there's 2 Texas ones. One's in Dallas, one's in Houston, which is kind of interesting. East Coast is St. Louis, Florida, DC, and New York. So I kind of gravitated towards the St. Louis one because it's like in the heart of the Midwest right there. Where some former Ramblers are from, Dizzy and the Baron. What's up, guys, if you're watching this? J-Bone, do you still watch NWA Power? No, I have not watched that in months, honestly. And I've talked about that, how I strayed away from that because of all the ugly stuff online from their women's champ at the time. But I heard Thunder Rosa is champ now, so I've been thinking about slowly getting back into it. You guys will know when I start reviewing it again. I don't want to get away from it completely. And the whole thing with I heard Ricky Morton went for the championship. I'm sorry, that does not draw me. It was nice to see the Rockers together again, real quick, briefly. Great. Lovely. They can still work a halfway decent match. Great. But I do not need to see Ricky Morton 40 years after the fact going for the NWA championship again. No, I'm sorry. That does not interest me. The Marty Scurll stuff is okay. I know a lot of people are hype about him. Yeah, I don't want to get into the rest of that, but whatever. Jamie Weisner says, I'm a fan of the DC Defenders because of the closest team to where I'm live. Yeah, see, there you go. And the fans in the crowd looked like crazy hardcore football fans. Man, so many naked football fans. Oh my God. In the Dallas game, the Dallas Renegades game, there were people in the crowd with cowboy hats, and the guys were naked and they were painted all in blue, like the Blue Man Group. Oh my God. And the bandanas. Man, so there are some serious football fans that are excited for this. And all the home games, all the home teams won their first game except for Dallas. St. Louis Battlehawks beat them. So in St. I don't know what the whole schedule is. I didn't look, but yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this. You know, I'm watching football again. I don't know how much of it I'm going to be covering on here. Yeah, yeah. I think you could already call it a success compared to last time because you could tell they're doing it differently. You know. So yeah, I don't know how much I'll be talking about it because I don't do a lot of sports on here. I don't do any sports on here really. But it's an alternative. We're gonna have it through April, and it's something different. You know, I've really gotten away from sports in general over the last few years. So we'll see. XFL fans were going all out, which is good. Yeah, yeah, and there were several. I mean, several thousand fans in these places. So that's great to see. You know, the play. Excuse me. The play on the field was better than last time. Well, yeah, and like I said, these guys are they're brushing the dust off, you know, and they didn't have an absolute crap ton of time to practice. They've been practicing since December. So it's been kind of a rush thing to get this all, them working together, plays, coaches, everything. They're really banging it out there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm sure there's going to be some shifting around. There's a ninth. What's interesting is there's a ninth team with no name, with X amount of people, players, coaches, whatever on it. And throughout the season, you can if you have to get rid of someone, like I said, there's already coaches that got fired, and I don't remember from which one. I think the Tampa lost some coaching, head coach or something. They can pick players, coaches from this ninth team openly, I guess, throughout the season. And that's kind of nice to see. And that's very different. That's very different from what you see in the NFL. I mean, it's similar, but very different. Eli Washington, J Bone, Matt Hardy is done with the WWE EC3. Oh my God, on his way to AEW, and Lance Archer come to AEW. Holy man! Yeah, that's a nice segue. Let's talk about some other stuff. All right, so we talked about The Rock. Check some stuff off here. Let's talk about Matt Hardy. And that'll kind of segue into some different stuff too. I did have Lance Archer written down here too, because he put out a very interesting post. In fact, let me find that on here really quickly while I get into the Matt Hardy talk. So, Matt Hardy, from what it looks like, I haven't heard anything official. People are calling it official. I'm not going to say it's official, but it certainly looks significant here. Well, where the hell? There he is. Good old Lance Hoyt / Archer. Just bringing up the tweet so I can read it when I'm ready to talk about him. So Matt Hardy came out last night. And he's had a few matches lately on Monday nights. I don't think he's been on the road at all as far as house shows. Just one and done for the week, I think is what he's been doing. Spending a lot of time producing the YouTube series. Folks, his YouTube series is very entertaining. If you enjoy the broken stuff from the past, go watch it. It's back. It's back. I mean, he's going through a whole metamorphosis. Like his tag says on Twitter, it's Matt Hardy in limbo. So it's interesting. So from the looks of it, I saw part of the segment online. He got RKO'd from Randy Orton and was made his exit out of the arena last night. After the RKO, he looked really banged up. He had no feeling in his arms. Wink. So he really sold that RKO like it just destroyed him, and he limped and he was shaking and twitching, and he was helped out of the arena, and he had a mild applause. Just not a Matt Hardy place, apparently. He didn't get the roving ovation exiting Like, I'm sure some people didn't think of what happened as his exit, but he said on Twitter after this happened, with a link to his latest video, said goodbye, all in caps on Twitter. So, yeah, I mean, that tells me he's done. There are some people reporting out there that they're still trying to work on something, um, as far as contract wise with him. I don't see it happening because they're not going to let him do what he wants to do. They're not going to give him that freedom, because they got to control every. Oh, you got to fart? Okay, well, we're going to put it here. No, you can't just fart on your own. We're going to put your fart over here. Okay, so, that's how the WWE is. It's a machine. Randy Killer legend. Randy Orton legend killer persona is back. Yeah, it's another form of that because he's working with some veterans and he's destroying people. So if you're gonna put over that persona, a good one to do it is Matt Hardy on his way out of the company. And we've seen that before at other times. We saw the Shield get rid of a bunch of people. They got rid of Rey Mysterio back several years ago. They got rid of Christian. We never saw him again. Yeah, I see some things about Jeff Hardy in the comments. I'm not going to talk about Jeff. He's going through a bunch of stuff. It's just too much. It's just too much of a hot mess to cover. But yeah, so it looks like Matt Hardy is done. Like I said, just follow his YouTube videos for any clues on what he might do next. Contract is up in a matter of weeks, from what it looks like, days or weeks, whatever. So it's not that far away. Jamie Weisner says, could Matt return to Impact? He certainly could. He certainly could. Are they going to pay him what he wants, though, to help support his family? That's the biggest question. We the fans want him here. We the fans want him there. You're going to see a bunch of different opinions. He certainly has a lot of different options, he's still in decent shape. He was looking rough for a while, but he went through some rehab or whatever. Physical body rehab. Not the rehab. Elijah Washington says, man, Vince is pushing for a Sting and Taker match. I don't want to see it, but the storylines and promo is going to be good, though. Oh, yeah, they could make anything look like $1 million if they do the promos right. I don't see it happening. Sting said, of course, he's not over till it's over, but we'll see. Matt Hardy joined OVE. Will be sick, J-Bone. He certainly could. He could do this whole ICU thing. It could be him bringing back some kind of weird broken thing. Because he did have a little bit of that in TNA years ago with the whole the Vanguard 1 thing. Had that kind of special effects on the screen thing whenever it was like a view through Vanguard 1. Could be something like that, like Vanguard 1 spying or something. I doubt it is. That's kind of reaching, but hey, it's wrestling. It's an option, right? But like I said, we got to, Matt's got to see what's going to be the best financial thing. He's got 3 kids now. He's got a family to support. How much does he want to get paid? How much does he want to travel? There's all these different aspects going on into the latter years of his career. So we got to just wait and see. I really don't know where we can't assume anything. We really can't. Like I said it a billion times, I'll say it again. Don't assume anything in the world of wrestling. I could see positives for going a few different places, that would treat him and let him have his freedom creatively. he could certainly do a more organic thing and have the freedom in Impact Wrestling, but we don't know if AEW is going to pick up a veteran like him. Could certainly use his backstage skills as well. You know, similar to what Dustin Rhodes is doing. He's an in-ring talent, but he's also helping that younger crop. And Matt Hardy would be tremendous in that. He really would. He really would. Um, could the ICU stuff be a new signee? It certainly could, man. Certainly could. So, but nonetheless, it looks like as far as the main point here of what we're talking about, Matt Hardy's exit looks like it's pretty much a done deal, from what we can tell. Nothing's, like I said, nothing's confirmed. But if you say goodbye and there's all these things leading up to that, and we saw what happened to him on Raw, it looks like an exit. That's how they write you off. They beat the shit out of you, and yeah, you know. So, um, let's see here. Hakeem says, I know there's a wrestler on the Impact roster who got a gimmick change, but that's as far as going to say. Yeah, I saw a headline on that. I'm not going to say anything as far as spoilers. So yeah. Not how I know exactly what you're talking about. Matt Hardy V1 again. I doubt it. I doubt it because they showed him get actually buried in the Matt Hardy YouTube series a few videos ago. Is it Rebby's dad? I can't think of what the guy's name is. A little rusty on the whole broken gimmick. You'll have to forgive me. But yeah, he literally got buried in the ground and then got reborn, and he's going through a whole metamorphosis. So it's funny. Go watch it. Beat you down and threw you down on the curb. What? Senor Benjamin. Yes. Thank you, Dead Pump Gauge. Thank you. Okay, next. Check that off. Someone else who's making some moves. Free agent. I mean, he's still. I haven't heard that he's exiting New Japan, but he does not have a contract. He's like working like tour by tour with New Japan. So it's nothing solid. Amazing Red. Yes. That is tremendous news that he is coming back for the TNA show. All right, so this tweet came out within the last day from Lance Archer. Says, and I quote, no matter where I end up next, spelled NXT, I'll remain the king of sports entertainment wrestling world. Reference to New Japan, while making an all-elite choice. AEW reference. I'll absolutely make an Impact Wrestling reference, but do it with honor in a Ring of Honor reference of one Major League Wrestling promotion. Major League Wrestling reference there, from USA to Japan and all over the world. So in that right there, he's like, he's kind of big scary face looming over the fire. It's evil. It's I love his character. He's really kind of reinvented himself when they got away from the what the hell was that tag team he was with Smith Jr. in New Japan. God, not enough coffee today, obviously. But Harry Smith is all over the place. He's mainly in MLW right now, but he's all over the indies. He hasn't been in Japan for a while, so Lance Archer was on his own and kind of had to, reinvent himself as a singles guy. So that's that. We'll see. Could he certainly make some moves in the next couple months and show up somewhere in WrestleCon weekend? Absolutely. I think he's got some dates. He's got a date in Chicago, I think, this coming weekend. Warrior Wrestling in Chicago is going to crown a new champion because Brian Cage is done. He'll present the championship to the new, and there's a whole slew of up and coming and established stars that are going to be in that match. So that'll be an interesting one watch this weekend. I remember Lance Hoyt when he was in TNA. Yes, he was Kid Cash's cousin, Dallas. That was my introduction to him. Man, and he was just half the size he is now. Man, he was just a skinny, tall guy with a weird tattoo above his butt. He went from there to had a stint in WWE, and they didn't do a whole lot with him, and they ended up back down in Florida Championship Wrestling before they let him go. And that was right before the inception of what is now NXT. Went to New Japan and the Indies, and he went back and forth and went all over the place. Yeah, so he's had quite the career over the last 20-ish. No, not 20. Ooh, what are we looking at here? 15? We'll say it was about 15 years, give or take a little bit. Yeah. Across tonight, he talked to Triple H, but all along he knew he was going there. Well, yeah, you're not going to give it away. You want the surprise to be the surprise. Some people do give it away, but very few people give that away now. Humble Beast says, so sick of wrestlers trying to have us think they're going to show up when they already know. Yeah, well, you got to keep a little mystique in the wrestling business. If everybody knows everything 5 minutes ago, there's no shock value, and people try to bring that back to the platform of World Wrestling so that when something happens, it's not, hundreds and thousands of fans already knew this online 20 weeks ago from Meltzer. No, when there's a surprise, people want to be like, oh, holy shit, look what's in the box. It's, you don't see that much anymore. And it's when it does happen, it's great. For example, when the Hardys showed up a few years ago at WrestleMania, I popped. That was a huge moment. We don't see a lot of that anymore, So when it does happen, it's really special. They hide them, tuck them away. Killer Elite Squad. Thank you. I knew it was Killer something. I couldn't think. So, yeah, maybe he'll make a whole new Killer Elite Squad in All Elite Wrestling. Who knows? But he's been in talks with a few different people, I guess. So, all right. So, yeah, one to keep your eye out for. I'm sure we're going to see him make a decision somewhere over the next few months, make some big moves in the springtime, if not sooner. So, we'll see. Maybe he'll make a sacrifice. Impact Wrestling reference there if you don't know. And don't forget to smash that like button as we go into a little more news here. And we're going to try to keep this to an hour as we're talking for a few more things. Let's talk a little bit of AEW, and then we'll wrap it up with some Impact stuff. AEW, I'm not going to review the whole show from last week, but it was pretty good. A few things I want to touch on news-wise and what happened in the show. Hey, thank you for the sub. Most appreciated. Sub. Okay, I'll touch on this. Rumors of EC3 joining AEW. He took a selfie with Jericho or someone. I don't know whose selfie it was. It was Jericho's selfie or EC3 took the selfie, probably Jericho. Took a picture with EC3 at some place, having drinks, having an elite conversation, said something like that on Instagram, whatever it was. Yeah, we all know that EC3 is not being used. Okay. If you want to find out where he is, go to his Twitter page. They're doing kind of a sit down roundtable comedy promo bit thing on YouTube. I watched a couple of them. They're humorous. EC3's on there with a few different wrestling personalities. I don't remember who's all on there with him. One of them was Braun Strowman, which was interesting. But wonder if he's going to get any heat from hanging out with EC3. I haven't seen that discussion yet, but I'll throw that out there just for jinxing it purposes. Like, oh my God, Braun Strowman's going to get heat. You can't hang out with a loser like EC3. Just jinx his whole career. He's never going to be able to work with kids again. He's doing a non-PG product on YouTube. He's fucked. Run with that. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the discussion as far as what timeline that EC3 was gone because he had a concussion. Okay. Health wise, I don't know how he's doing. Okay. That's not a just everybody is done and fine by a certain timeline. Everyone's different. Okay. So I don't know. So right there, he's sitting in there waiting. A good sign that they're not going to be doing anything with him is they have not tried to do his trademark, the EC3 trademark. They let it go because he tried to own it last year. WWE fought him on it. They're not fighting him on it anymore. So it looks like he's going to be able to keep his EC3 persona, trademark it, copyright, whatever. I need to cut back on coffee. My stomach's just got coffee gut rot right now. Damn. Do you think that there might have gotten him some internal heat with Vince? I don't think he has any heat. I just think Vince looks at some people and doesn't and that could be anyone. You look at some people and be like, all right, why should I be interested, invest my time and energy in this guy? And Vince has been doing this for decades. And if he don't see anything, or look at someone and be like, okay, our company can make money on this guy. If he don't see it, there are not too many people in that company that surround him on a daily basis that are going to change his mind. Plain and simple. We've seen it a billion times over the last God knows how many years. I heard Impact Wrestling sold out all 3 Vegas shows. I heard they did very well attendance-wise. Yeah, great for them, yes. Oh, we're talking about EC3. Wink. Hello, Critical Sting. What is up? Welcome. Yes, we're talking a little bit of EC3 before we talk about the next thing. So yeah, who knows where he'll go next. Obviously, WWE is going to do anything with him. We just got to wait for his contract to run out, and we don't know when that is. So just keep an eye on his social media. I don't know how much Meltzer is going to offer us. We just got to wait and see. That's all we can say. But yeah, if you want to see him and see what he's doing, go to his social media, find his YouTube channel. I don't remember what it's called offhand. I apologize. It's got some weird entertainment name. But it's a bunch of guys sitting around. They cut promos on each other and they play games, and it's just them being silly and goofy. And it's adult. It's for adults because there is cursing. So It's not for kids. So if you're a parent, don't introduce your kids to this show. Okay. Elijah Washington says Dustin Rhodes versus Lance Archer. Take my money. Hell yeah, dude. I'd like to see it. Hell yeah. All right, so let's talk some more AEW stuff. Looks like the Nightmare Collective storyline is fini done kaput. I know it got a lot of heat online. It got a lot of flack. Fans weren't. I mean, some fans will just complain about anything, you know. Oh, I think Brandy Rhodes had a booger, you know, just whatever. To just make shit up and just throw it out there because they're horrible fucking people. They got nothing else better to do. Who are we going to shit on today? Let's look through our files. Let's shit on Rio. Let's shit all over Rio. And that's what they do. That's how they spend their day. I ain't got time for that shit. Life is too damn short. Congrats, Hakeem. That's awesome. Congrats, man. So yeah, I mean, and I liked it. They're in this first year of trying to introduce new people, introduce new storylines. Some are going to catch on. Will hardly miss you. Oh. Some are going to catch on, some aren't. That's been a billion times over for any wrestling promotion since God knows when. You put something out there, you try to work with it, let's throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. That's all you can do. You know? I felt like production-wise, it was done well. I liked the promos. It was creepy. It was interesting. But overall, performance-wise, it just didn't catch on. And maybe the timing was yes, Elijah Washington, I saw that. I even posted something on my Instagram. It was funny. But then I heard something that was completely debunked and has nothing to do with gravity or anything. So whatever. Nightmare Collective, sorry. So I liked it. I was curious. You know, they're trying to build up their women's roster. I guess there was a timing issue with Awesome Kong because she's going back to Glow within the next few months. So, I heard she's injured. I heard she's not injured. They just had to write her off because she's doing this. I don't know exactly what's going on with her, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you. I hear a couple different things out there floating around. I like Mel. Some people didn't like Mel. Doesn't mean she's gone. The whole Dr. Luther, whatever his name is, the Japanese death match guy. I don't know what's going on with him, but Brandy looks like from the promo that she put out within the last few days, she took all her clothing bits that she was wearing from the Nightmare Collective stuff. She put it in a box and she burned it. That's kind of a big thing. That's like a big, okay. So I guess it's done. I'm not going to be like, oh, bring it back. Whatever. It's okay. You tried it. Didn't work. I'm not going to throw a big shit fit about it. They'll try to come up with other stuff to introduce new people. That's all you can do. Doesn't mean that everybody's gone. It just means that this particular group is now departed. What do you think of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD? I like that they're trying to change her up. She's trying to, heal it up. I feel like how she's doing it is good. You hit someone that everybody loves Tony Schiavone and JR and whatever. So you cut a promo on them. It's simple. You guys can't do this. You suck. You used to be a barista. It got a little real. It was simple. It was real. I've said that forever. You keep it simple. You keep it real. You draw heat. It works. So I dig it. And it's another work in progress. She's not going to sit there and cut a 20-minute promo on you. She's going to be out there for a couple minutes. She's going to make you boo. Move on. Isaac Yankem 2.0. Oh, it's the same but different, right? Just not quite as creepy, and she's not going to shave her head, and who knows? Maybe she will. Maybe she'll shave her head and be like, and she'll get Luther as a companion manager or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's a silly idea. Where's Jimmy Havoc? They just put a promo of his on the latest, either Being the Elite or Road to, one of the last AEW videos on YouTube. It was creepy. It was good. So he's coming back. I've said this before. You can't use everyone at once. You got 2 hours. So you rotate them. Every company does it, So, but yeah, he'll be back. Promo was good. Go check it out. What else was I going to cover on AEW? Oh, Sammy is. Oh, shoot. We all right? We still here? Don't bother me now. Says I'm still connected. All right. Let me know what you guys see. If it's okay, let me know. All right. We'll continue. Hopefully it doesn't shit on me. We'll try to wrap this up soon. A couple more little news bits. Cody and the 10 lashes. It's good? Okay, thank you. Cody and the 10 lashes. Oh my God. Going into this, I wasn't sure how it was going to come off on TV. They did absolutely. Stream keeps skipping ahead. Okay, I'm watching it on mine and it looks okay. Styles, what is up, dude? ICU has invaded Smash This podcast. I love you guys. The Cody segment with the lashes, I loved it. It was emotional. It was, yes, exactly, Jamie. It was brutal. I loved how they did it. I know there's been a million opinions out there. Some said it was too much. I saw some really ridiculous stuff out there. Like, oh, you can't do that during Black History Month. Okay, stop. Just stop. That's really reaching, okay? If that's the first thing you think of, don't watch wrestling. Please, do not watch wrestling. Because you are not built for the pro wrestling world of entertainment. No matter what brand you watch, stop watching if that's the first thing you think of is Black History Month and you can't watch somebody get 10 lashes. This has nothing to do with somebody getting whipped in a cotton field, for God's sakes. Okay? Just stop. Shut up. Dead Punt Gage says that was one of the most emotionally compelling endings to a show I've seen in years. They worked it beautifully. Thank you. Yes, you got it. Told you guys Jay Bone was the leader of the Dark Order. Ooh, throws toothpick. Ooh. Elijah Washington, agreed. Thank you. Hakeem Fullerton, as Jim Ross would say, Cody just got whipped like a government mule. Good God Almighty, that man has a family. And what was also made it and brought the realism to it, Brandy Rhodes came out in tears. Brandy Rhodes, and this made it at this point when there was like what 3 left or whatever it was, 3 left, 2 left. It got the first 2. I'm like, okay, it's bad. And we've seen some people get whipped before. And like, okay, for what, like I just had seen the Daniel Bryan match with the Fiend. Bull, what was that called? God damn, fucking senile. Whatever match they had, bullwhip match, whatever, strap match, whatever you call it. Cody got the Tommy Dreamer ECW whipped by Sandman. Yeah. If you guys listen to Busted Open Radio, Tommy and Bully Ray had a great conversation about this whole thing and had some great opinions on it. Dead Punch Gauge. Brandy dropped the gimmick. That's when I knew it was going to be special. She came out in tears, went to the ring, got eye level with Cody, grabbed his hands, and Cody is red-faced, tears all in his eyes. He's crying. I mean, the guy, you can't fake that shit. That's real fucking pain right there, okay? These guys go through all sorts of pain when they're doing this stuff, and getting whipped 10 times, I can't even imagine by even halfway through, I'd be like, nope, done. And that was the thing. If he didn't get through this, then the match wouldn't be happening. Yeah, Goldust came out. Arn Anderson came out for some kind of moral support. I don't remember exactly who did what. But Wardlow even got a lick in there. So then the next thing is going to happen is the cage match with Wardlow. I can't wait to see that. That is going to be just ridiculous. Young Bucks, a tag team of Roman Reigns. What? I don't know what that is. I love how Brandy was there to encourage him. Yeah, that brought a realism to it. She was not in the Nightmare Collective character. No gimmick there at all. It was just her stripped down. Just Brandy Rhodes. That's what you saw. It was her coming out to support her husband and get him through that. That's going to be the show stealer. It was. It absolutely was. Are you talking about the cage match? Yeah, I can't wait to see that. So yeah, it was good TV. And it's no one's holding a gun to your head to watch wrestling. If it affected you in a certain way, turn the channel. Okay, that's all I can tell you. I'm not going to call you a snowflake. Everybody's gone through shit in their lives. Okay, I don't care who you are, on some level. Tim Bischoff, what is up? Too sweet. So yeah, it was a tremendous segment. It made one of the best things they produced. Excuse me. Since the start, Cody's a star, MJF is a star, and the supporting cast, all good. And I can't. This is real storytelling. Okay. Plain, simple, old-fashioned, good old-fashioned storytelling. Okay. And like I said, I talked about 2 completely different things here. We talked about the Nightmare Collective. They tried it, didn't catch on. They did the 10 lashes thing with Cody, and it became one of the most intense, crazy to watch segments in wrestling in recent history. And Cody's been attached to a lot of these different things. If that says how good Cody and his surrounding, people that help him put this, I mean, this isn't just one person. This is, the minds of several people coming together and making this happen. Tony, production, everything. Camera catches the look on the eye, the zoom in. You see the tears. That shit's real. When it's real, it works. And this, unfortunately for Cody, and there was even a segment in the recent Being the Elite. They watched, they showed the Young Bucks and Kenny backstage watching Cody into Tony's office. And some sad music playing, and they zoomed in on his back the whole time. His back was the focal point in the middle of the screen. You could see it the whole time, how bad he looked. It was horrible. I mean, I can't even imagine. I mean, I've gone through 3 back surgeries. I would not want to be whipped at any point in my life. That's no. And granted, that pain goes away, but damn. Crazy shit. So, I can't wait to see what's going to go on Wednesday, AEW. I will be reviewing it. God willing, my head doesn't fall off before then. Cody took his own blood for this company. I love this man since WWE. Yeah, he's really become something special in wrestling since he's left. Because he's been given that chance to have that freedom and just go with it. And no matter where he's been, it's been money. New Japan, Ring of Honor, and now AEW. It's good. It's good shit. Darby Allin, another star in the making. Absolutely. No Pac and Omega. Oh, it's going to happen. Pac's going to make it happen. Can't wait till it does. But I think they got to tell a story with this whole tag team debacle with Hangman Adam Page first. So, who knows? All storytelling. We got to wait and see what happens. All right, check that off. Oh, my goodness. We're an hour, almost 15 into this. All right, one more thing. We'll wrap this up. Talked about this a little last night on the Total Nonstop Impact podcast Throwback Edition. Covering the classic NWA TNA pay-per-view reviews. Trent and I talked about this, brought up the fact that Impact Wrestling's TNI show that they're advertising for WrestleCon WrestleCon weekend. Say that 10 times really fast. They announced a few days ago the King of the Mountain match. They've slowed down a little bit as far as throwing stuff out there. I mean, they've got to build this till early April, so you can't just throw everything out the first week, because then it's just okay. Now, how do you build it? This is all being done on social media. Okay, I doubt they're gonna put any of this out there on television. There's nothing on the website. It's all being done on Twitter and Facebook. So if you want to know, you want to keep up to date on what's going on with the TNA show, follow them on social media. I'm sure they'll do some updates on episodes, but I don't know. And watch their YouTube channel too. That'll give you a clue on what's coming up. They just did an amazing red package. We're going to check that out sometime. Nice little reminder of what he's done. And Trent and I are covering the NWA TNA pay-per-view reviews on the OG channel, the Total Nonstop Impact channel. Go check that out. We're having a blast. We just did number 9. We just did number 9. We're having so much fun covering this because he watched them back when they were live back in the day. I'm watching them as a whole. It's like an alternate universe. Okay. We just saw Ron the Truth Killings just became NWA NWA champion. Okay, crazy, absolutely crazy. I'm loving it. I did not watch these back then. Trent did, and we're watching one a week. We're reviewing one a week, so it's just like covering it live from back then, only different. Uh, so, uh, yeah, ton of fun. Please go over there, and we do the TNA show updates on there as well. So yeah, King of the Mountain match is coming back along with the Ultimate X match that I covered last week. Wow, King of the Mountain. Can only imagine who they're going to bring in for that. I'm sure they're going to have a mix of classic stars and some of today's stars. A lot of questions like, are they going to bring back the King of the Mountain Championship to go along with that? Who's going to be in it? So, and and that's a little blurry for me personally. I don't remember exactly who all did what. I know Jeff Jarrett was a big part of that. I know Raven was in some of it. I think became champ at some point. There's been a handful of them, I think, over the years. But the King of the Mountain match has not been done in like between 4 to 5 years. So, they better have that supermarket street fight. What? Booker T said Tessa as world champion was a terrible idea, but since then Impact has been doing while from a financial standpoint, recent Las Vegas tapings. Yeah. If there was nobody at the Vegas tapings, that would be a big statement as to how they're doing. And that's been a slow rise in places where they're going. Attendance is slowly getting better. They're going bigger places at these bigger shows. The TNA show is in a place that draws about 1,000 people. That's still okay. You don't need $5,000 in a place like that for a show like this. Yeah, it's going to be big, but you got to remember there is an absolute crap ton of wrestling that weekend, WrestleMania weekend. Okay. So if you draw, several between 500 to 1,000 people at a show like this, take it because there's going to be so much to offer that weekend. Not everybody is going to go to every show that weekend. You just can't. It's impossible with as much stuff that's going on that weekend. So, hey, it is what it is. Shark Boy. Yeah, maybe Shark Boy will get off the donuts and make an appearance in the King of the Mountain match or something. I don't know. Curry Man. Yeah, I see a lot of references about Curry Man. I would love to see CD back, the Fallen Angel. Christopher Daniels come back. That would be awesome. I would love to see him. There's so many names and faces and characters I'd love to see part of this. It's just a matter of who wants to and who's under what kind of contracts. And, is AEW going to let them? I'm sure they would. AEW does not have a show that weekend. Cody has vehemently said, we will absolutely not be running a show during WrestleMania weekend. That's theirs, and a lot of people piggyback off of the entertainment, the thousands of people in town that weekend for that show. That's why everybody runs all these little shows surrounding it, because they want a piece of that. It's business. You can love it, you can hate it, whatever. Some people despise it. Vince despises it, of course. You can't stop it all. But yeah, there's going to be no AEW show that weekend, but it'll be interesting to see if anybody from the classic TNA days, like Kaz, Christopher Daniels, man, you broke kayfabe. Yes, it was. Young Bucks. You mean Generation Me? Yeah, it could. It could. You certainly could. Don't tell me they wouldn't get a pop. Fans love them. Cody, They're not doing a show WrestleMania weekend, but we'll see. No, I mean we would know. We would know. They're not going to do some last minute thing. If a handful of people make an appearance at this show or at other shows throughout the weekend, don't be surprised. But in classic TNA without Cheeks. Okay, I'm not sure about who that is, but okay. Low key should come back as Senshi. He's already said he wouldn't, but there's still time. There's still time. He may change his mind. I'm a big low key fan. I haven't been watching a lot of MLW lately, but I'm a huge low key fan. Have been for years. I would love to see him part of the Ultimate X match. That would be insane. Or King of the Mountain, whatever. You don't know about Cheeks. There are some points in TNA history I'm just not familiar with. Okay, so you have to forgive me. Malcolm Lloyd, what is up? Late to the party, but I'm here. What is up? Too sweet. Thanks for showing up, man. Much love. Scott D'Amore did invite the Bucks for one more match with the Motor City Machine Guns. Oh man, Hernandez. Yeah, man. There's so many names that could and should show up. Because they all had a little piece of history, and it's all significant. It's all fun to watch. Go spend your $7 a month, $8 a month, whatever it is. Watch some Impact Plus with me and Trent. And while we're reviewing these shows, we're having a blast doing it. And that's about it. That's all about all the Impact news. The last show from Fronton, Mexico. Fronton, whatever, however they say it. Is there a Mexican way of saying Fronton, Mexico? I don't know. The last show is tonight. We know that there's some stuff going on in the world of Impact Wrestling. Some spoilers are out there. I'm not going to talk about them. Just watch the show. Me and the guys will be reviewing it this Thursday over on the Impact Lounge. Please go over there and check it out if you have not joined us over there yet. We have a blast talking about all things Impact Wrestling. Deadpool Gage Cheeks was on the very first show in a dark match and became infamous for breaking the ring right before. Oh, yeah. Okay. We talked about that. I forgot about that. Yes. Humblebee says, great daytime podcast, Jay. Thank you. Yeah, no spoilers here. That's right. Sounds like Swanton Pump. Yeah, because I got stuff I want to maybe talk about later tonight. We'll see. This is stuff I wanted to cover yesterday. I threw some last minute changes and some additions in there today. So we talked about a bunch of stuff, covered a bunch of updates on a bunch of different companies while reviewing a couple significant things in the world of wrestling news. So thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this. I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to get back to consistency on here. Be patient, folks, and thanks for all the new subs. We're creeping up on 800. Much love, everyone. I will be back here as soon as possible. We'll see you guys down the road. And please, folks, on your way out, don't forget to smash that like button, smash that sub button, and ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of my content hits your screen. We're out of here.